Hey everybody, it's Kaylin here with My Fair Daily. So I do want to apologize, guys. I did take a week off from filming. I was so sick last week, like ungodly ill. You don't want to see me on camera kind of ill. But I am back today to do some more of my 2015 favorites with you guys. Since I did take a week off, I'm going to try to cram some more stuff into these videos so that it only really takes up January and we get back to normal schedule starting in February with different tutorials and stuff. But do bear in mind, this video today is going to be very, very long. So guys, pause this video now, go grab a snack, go grab a drink, and let's get started. So first we're going to start with face products, mainly foundation products that I loved in 2015. The first one I want to show you guys is my tried and true, my love of my life, the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I actually discovered this probably closer to the end of 2015, more like in the fall time I actually started using this. But what I love so much about it is the luminous glow it gives me. So when I apply it onto my skin, I just feel like it gives me this beautiful glow from within kind of glow. I like that it is fairly full coverage. It is a little bit more light to medium. You can build it up to be a little bit heavier. My only complaint about it is this shade right here. I think I got it online. It isn't exactly my shade, so I do have to mix other products with it to get it to my perfect shade right now. But in the summertime, it does work out fairly well. I love the packaging on it. I like that the cap is pretty sturdy, so if you do travel with it, it's not going to come off very easily and get all over the place. I do like that it's a pump formula as well. I find that foundations that are either the squeeze tube or the ones that you have to like somehow like an old ketchup bottle get out of the tube or the jar just really suck. So I do like this one. I do like the packaging as well as the formulation of it, and I would continue to purchase it in the future. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, but still a high-end foundation, I absolutely love this Tarte foundation. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Airbrush Foundation. I have the shade Fair Light Neutral, and this one is pretty dead on to my skin tone. It's actually maybe a little bit like a teensy little bit deeper. Oh my god, if I could talk. A little bit deeper than my skin tone, but it does give me a nice coloring, so I pretty much use it all year long. I use this really mainly on my lazy days when I don't feel like doing a full foundation routine on my face. Sometimes I'll just put on a little bit of tinted moisturizer, I'll put this over it for a little bit more coverage, and I'm good to go for the day. I love this so much. I love, again, with the packaging, I like that it has this kind of a net, I guess, applicator well, if that's the word we're going to go with. I like the applicator well on it because it's not a struggle to get the product out of the pan. You just kind of dip your brush in, it gives you the perfect amount of product, and then you apply it all over your face. Honestly, this is such full coverage, I don't need a concealer with it, unless it's like under eye concealer or something like that, but I don't need a concealer to cover up any problem areas, any zits, any acne, any discoloration. It does it flawlessly. So there's two drugstore foundations I absolutely loved in 2015. The first ones I actually used mainly towards the beginning of the year. These CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous foundations are so amazing. They are so full coverage. I actually mixed these two together, so I have the 105 and the 110. So I have 105 Classic Ivory and the 110 Creamy Natural. I mix them together and they're the perfect shade for me. Such full coverage, such flawless coverage. They are oil free, so if you do have oilier skin, these are perfect for you. I have not used them yet since the winter time when I've gotten really, really dry recently. I'm a little afraid to use them right now. Excuse me, but I really loved these at the beginning of last year. They were incredible foundations for me. I did a whole blog post on them that I can link below if you guys are interested in. These foundations are amazing. And from across the sea, we do have the Bourjois the Healthy Mix foundation. I don't have the Healthy Balance one. I think I have just the Healthy Mix one. And I absolutely love this. This is my second bottle of it. I am the shade, oh, where is it? I never can find, oh, I am in the shade Light Vanilla. And I did actually get this from a UK friend, so she sent me my first bottle. I loved it so much I like killed it. And then now she sent me my second bottle, so I am trying to wean my way through this one since Bourjois is a lot harder of a brand to get in the US. I believe you can find it on places like Amazon and that kind of stuff, or I'm sure you can even find a UK store that'll send it to you. This is more of a light to medium coverage foundation. I do love the coverage of it though, if I am, again, not wanting a super full coverage look, if I'm looking for more of a daytime coverage or more of a lighter one in case I'm just, you know, running errands or something like that. This is a perfect foundation for that. It's a great everyday foundation. Again, I love that it's a pump tube, or sorry, a pump bottle versus you know, a squeeze bottle or a pot or something like that. I love the smell of this foundation. It's really weird, but I do love the smell of this foundation. It smells so fresh and like fresh fruit. Bourjois is just a great brand in general. There's a lot of products that I love for them, and honestly their foundation is one of their best ones. So the last two face products that I'm going to mention are two products that absolutely fell head over heels in love with towards the end of 2015. However, they had to make their way on my list because honestly, once I purchased them and started using them, I could not put them down. The first one is the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops. I love these. As I was mentioning before, with any foundation that I feel is too dark, I mix it together and it gives me my perfect shade. So I did get the shade N10 for myself, which is a little bit lighter, but that's honestly what I was looking for, was for a lighter shade to make my darker foundations winter appropriate for myself. And honestly, like I said, I have not been able to stop using this since I purchased it. What else do I love about it besides the fact that it makes my foundation the perfect color that it needs to be? It also adds coverage. Because it is just a pure pigment, it adds coverage to any foundation as well. So any kind of foundation, I need a little oomph and I need a little bit of boost if I'm having a bad skin day. This is just the perfect product for that. And lastly, a new concealer for 2015. I absolutely love the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. I have the shade Fair Neutral. Honestly, everybody loves this. Everybody's been raving about this in their favorites videos. The first time I heard about it, I was like, really? Is it really that great of a concealer? Is it really better than every other concealer out there? However, I did purchase it for myself, started testing it out, and I must say I'm 100% a true believer. I love this concealer so much. I use it mainly for underneath the eyes to do highlighting because I do have a lighter shade than my skin tone, as well as highlighting, you know, on the normal parts of my face and whatnot. But this is just a wonderful concealer. It is so light, but such full coverage. It doesn't make my skin look streaky. It doesn't make my skin look, you know, like the smile lines and everything like that aren't accentuated with it. It doesn't look dry or crepey or cracky on my skin. Honestly, another thing I love about it is the smell of it. It smells just like a, let me see, it smells like a buttery rum shot if you've ever had one at the bar. If you guys have not tried out this concealer yet, it is 100% worth the hype, and I highly recommend you guys grabbing it. Okay guys, we're about to dive into some serious amount of cheap products that I've been absolutely in love with. First of all, I do want to talk about this beauty here. I have used it almost completely 100% down to pan. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette, and I do covet it exclusively. I absolutely love this palette. I've used, like I mentioned, I've used Radiant Light pretty much down to pan, as well as sorry, this is dim light. No, these are all backwards on here. I'm pretty sure this one is dim light, this one is radiant light, and then this one is incandescent light. Pretty much all of these are all down to pan. These are all almost completely gone. I do need to repurchase this palette for myself. There's just no finishing powder I've ever used in my life that is compared to the Hourglass powder. So another palette I could just not put down is this Balm palette. It's called the Manizer Sisters, and honestly, this is at least my 5th take of trying to say this stupid palette's name. I purchased mine from Kohl's, and this is what the packaging looks like. It's so pretty. So it's the 3 Manizer sisters together. You have Mary Lou, Cindy Lou, and Betty Lou all together in one package. I will say that the pots are definitely smaller than if you bought them in the full size, but I love the fact that all of them come together and you can kind of play off of all of them at one time on your face. I can use all these in one sitting. I've really been obsessed with the Betty Lou one right now, as you can see by the state of the packaging. I use this pretty much every single day as my bronzer. It's just my ride or die go-to bronzer. I love the Cindy Luminizer as a blush topper, so if I feel like my blush is a little too intense, I could put this on top and it kind of diffuses it a little bit, gives it a nice pearlescent glow. It's just perfection. And then of course the Mary Luminizer is one of the best highlighters out there. If you want glow amazingness, you have to do the Cindy Luminizer. hands down one of the best illuminators I've ever used in my life. I love just how, it's just stunning. Like, there's just no words that can describe how amazing this highlighter is. And staying on track with highlighters, this should be on everybody's list this year that got their hands on it. The Becca Champagne Pop by Jaclyn Hill is just one of the prettiest highlighters ever created. I have not found a highlighter I love nearly as much as this one. Honestly, there's no comparison. I do have a love affair with this one. I will be so sad when it is gone. That's why I like sparingly only use it when I'm like, I need a little champagne pop in my life. Close comparisons for me though would be these two from ColourPop. I do have the shades Wisp and the shade, what is this one called, Lunch Money. And honestly, I use these in tandem together. So Wisp is a little bit deeper, again, a little bit more like champagne pop. So I love using this on the top of my cheekbones. Let me see if I can get a good swatch that you guys can see right there. So this one has that little bit more of a golden effect like champagne pop. Let me actually do a swatch comparison of these two next to each other. Just for shits and giggles, why not? So Wisp is definitely a little bit more bronzy, whereas champagne pop definitely is a lot more golden-y. So again, I don't know if you guys can tell that on camera, but it's very evident to me in person. But irregardless, I love both equally. They're both like my child. I would save them if they were falling off a cliff kind of thing. But then I also love Lunch Money, which is this one right here. And this one's definitely a lot more like the Mary Luminizer. So it is very frosty and very just so stunning. So those are the three together. Okay, now on to blushes. So the first ones I want to talk to you guys about, I don't know if I've mentioned before in any kind of favorites videos, but these are just solid, amazing blushes. These are from Makeup Academy, and honestly, these ones I did get from the UK. I don't believe that they sell these ones in the US, but if you guys are able to get your hands on them, these are some incredible drugstore blushes. You guys have to see the pigmentation of these blushes. They are just incredible. I love these blushes so much, and this is just one swipe. Like, I don't even know if you can see. Like, look at that pigmentation of it. I'm like contorting my arm any which way that I can make to help you guys see this amazingness. Let me do it on this side of my arm so you guys can see. So like, look, just one swipe, that is amazing pigmentation. Let me swatch out the next one. No, the one I just swatched was called Balm. This next one is called Cupcake, and this one is a little bit more neutral. So this one is a little bit better of like an everyday, all-around neutral shade. So that is that one right there. Neutral, but still on the peachy side, which I really love. And then this one is for real, like a straight up peach. This one is called Lolly. And again, all these are incredible. I kind of always find myself gravitating towards them. They are just solid, awesome blushes that aren't that expensive. So this has really honestly been the year of drugstore blushes for me. I love these Milani blushers like crazy. The first one comes with no surprises, is pretty much everyone's favorite. Luminoso is just one of the most beautiful shades ever. As you can see, these are normally supposed to be domed. Mine is pretty much flat. I've used the hell out of this blush. This really mostly during the summertime is usually when I use this blush. I love it. Honestly, this is like one of the best drugstore blushes you can purchase. So if you don't have this in your collection yet, I would highly recommend it. This is a beautiful springtime, summertime blush. And then for the wintertime, I switch over to Berry Amour. As you can see, I've used, again, the heck out of it. The package, or the Milani part on the packaging is pretty much worn off completely. These are hard to get open. And again, it is down to not really much of a dome shape anymore. I have used this so much over this last winter time, and you know, compared next to each other, you can definitely tell that they have definitely a difference. This one is definitely a lot more berry in sheen and in color, but they both are very nice, subtle, buildable blushes. That's really what I love the most about them. And the fact that these are just, the price is right for them. They're great blushes and you don't have to pay an arm and leg for them. I really appreciate that. So another Milani blush I've been obsessed with is this one here in Romantic Rose. This one is one of their, you know, they're more like, it's shaped in in the compact like a flower. But I've used this so much this fall, and honestly the top of it is pretty much flat as well. You can still see the flower shape of it for sure, but that's what it looks like right here. So this is it swatched next to the other ones. Honestly, this one doesn't even swatch nearly as nice as the other ones do. But those are the three Milani blushes right next to each other. Definitely Berry Amore and Luminoso are probably take the cake for me, but I did use this one a lot in the fall time and I really enjoyed it. And the last blush I wanted to talk about is this one here. This one is from Studio Makeup. It's in the shade Wildflower, and I actually got this one in a BoxyCharm box. But it's just been like my go-to blush this fall and winter time. I love it. It's just a perfect pinky neutral blush that is just such high quality, such great pigmentation, but it also is very buildable. So right now I have about 2 layers on and it's not super duper holy crap pigmentation. I kind of go for blushes that aren't like that as much because I can be very heavy-handed with blushes. So I like ones that are pretty idiot-proof for me, to be honest. Okay, we're done now with cheek products. Let's now move on to eye products that did not include, obviously, in my palettes video. I didn't include these babies right here because they aren't technically a palette. However, this past year I've been obsessed with ColourPop eyeshadows, guys. Seriously, these are just a couple of my favorites. I have like a whole acrylic container full of them right now. I have a problem. I cannot stop. This one here called Central Perk is just the most beautiful cranberry matte shade ever. I've used the hell out of it. As you can see, it's down to pan. It is just so stunning, and honestly I don't ever feel like these really can do justification in swatch. They are so stunning. I did do a look, I believe I did a tutorial using one of these exclusively. I will link that down below. I believe it's my Cranberry Holiday Eye, so you guys can check that out. Another one that's awesome is this one here called Fringe. This is just a beautiful like a champagne-y glittery shade. It is so stunning. It's a beautiful highlight. So that's it right there. So stunning. I love using this as an inner corner highlight. Speaking of highlights, I love this one here called Glow. This one is just a white matte shade. Honestly, it's like my go-to shade for my brow bone. I just love a matte white shade on my brow for some reason. I'm obsessed with it, and I've honestly, it doesn't really matter what kind of shadow it is. If it's a white matte shadow, I usually will use it on my brow bone versus one that's a little bit more glittery and shimmery. Then this one here called Cornelius. This is part of the Kathleen Lights Wears the Light quad, and this is just a amazing transition color, and I think mine is a little dried out, unfortunately, because I really have to dig into it to get pigmentation on my hand to show you guys, but it is one of my favorite transition shades that I use with all my ColourPop shadows. Now on to an eye product I don't know if I've ever talked about on my channel, but recently, I would say more towards the end of 2015, this was like a staple item for me. And I have used it in a couple of tutorials on my channel. This is the Statement Skin Highlighting Crayon. And again, I think I got this in a BoxyCharm. Don't quote me, I'm pretty sure that's where I got it from. This is from the brand So Susan, and it is just the most beautiful highlight crayon ever. I don't use it to highlight on my cheekbones or anything. What I use this baby for is to highlight on my brow bone as well as the inner corner. I know I just got done saying that I pretty much prefer mattes on like my brow bone and stuff, but this one is like the most subtle pearlized sheen, and it's so stunning. I do have it on top of my brows today. It's a perfect shade. I'm gonna swatch it for you guys to see. It is just, I love it. It is like not overpowering. It's just kind of perfect. So again, if I don't have like that perfect shade for my brow bone or my inner corner, I just don't know what to go, like to what to grab or do anything with, I just grab this and it's perfect every single time. It's just my go-to ride or die. Bag tea. So 2 different eyeliners stuck out for me this year. This one being a gel eyeliner in black. This is from Oprah Cosmetics, and I use this pretty much just in my kit, but I love it for my clients, and I have used this kind of product on myself before. I just love the gel consistency of this more than like the waxier ones that are at the drugstore. It just glides on so beautifully onto my eyelid. It is a super inky black formula, very pigmented. It's perfect. My only complaint about it is that anybody that has more of a closed lid or has more of a hooded lid, you really need to make sure that it dries completely, because if you put this on and then blink right away, it will blink and go all over your face. And on the eyeliner train, I have been loving and using this Rimmel eyeliner in the shade Black like crazy in 2015 and in 2016. Again, it's just one of the most blackest black formulas I've ever used. It is just one of the most perfect waterline eyeliners. I can put this in my waterline and it'll not completely stay put, like it does fade throughout the day, but it is like the only eyeliner that will stay, and I can still see remnants of it at the end of the day. I have not had that kind of luck with any other eyeliner besides this one, so that's why I do love it. I noticed if I smudge it out or if I set it, it will stay longer as well, but I do love this pencil. I love Rimmel pencils though in general. I just think that they are a great drugstore option if you guys are looking for eyeliners. So these last two eye products are kind of more of a recent favorite of mine, but again, they are just part of my daily routine now. This NYX eyebrow cake powder, I have the shade Brunette, is awesome. I have a similar one in Anastasia, not exactly the same. The Anastasia one definitely does not have the wax with it. However, I feel that this one is a little bit more natural, whereas the Anastasia one I feel can definitely look a lot more fake on me. This one has a little bit more naturalness to it. I definitely like the two tones. This one is more the lighter tone I use on the inner part of my brow, and then the darker one I use more towards the tail middle section of it. And then I go in with the wax here to make it more like a pomade and to really set it all together. So honestly, this is just a great eyebrow product, and it is a lot more affordable than the Anastasia product. And then this last little beauty right here is definitely probably the most recent addition to my favorites collection, but it is honestly, I can't really use anything else because it just doesn't compare to me. This is the e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. Now what I love about this so much, outside of this cute little container, is that it is just one of the most finely milled under eye setting powders I've ever used in my entire life. Right now I also have the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I think this stuff is better for underneath the eyes. I'm sorry, I honestly do, and it's a fraction of the cost. I think it's even more finely milled. I think it does a much better job of setting and not allowing my concealer to crease at all. It's just a solid under eye setting powder, and again, I think it's like $3 or $4. I mean, you cannot beat that. It is just such an awesome powder. Okay guys, on to the last category. I have so many lip products to show you guys. This is definitely the year of holy shit lips. I don't even know where to start. Let's do the couple lipsticks that I have to show you guys. First one being the Makeup Forever Rouge Artist Intense in the shade 11. I don't know if it has a shade name outside of that, but I used the heck out of this in 2015, and I think I featured it in several videos for you guys to see. But I will show you again. This is just a beautiful pearlized, oh my god, I was gonna say rose gold. I suppose it is kind of rose gold, but this is like a beautiful, like, dusty rose. I couldn't think of the description of that for a minute. A beautiful, like, pearlized dusty rose shade. It is so pretty. It does have like the rose gold kind of a feature to it, not as much gold as opposed to being more on the purpley pink side. A lot more mauve-y. As I said, a dusty rose is like the perfect description of it. As well as this shade here. This is from NARS. It is the shade called Anna. These are the Audacious lipsticks, and this is in the shade Anna. And again, this is just my ride or die shade. I love this. A beautiful, beautiful dusty rose shade. So I have one kind of a lipstick crayon I want to talk to you guys about. Again, in the summertime, I could not put this down. This is from Palladio. This is the High Intensity Herbal Lip Balm. It is not a lip balm by any means. It is a nice pigmented lipstick. And this is in the shade Cabaret. This is just such a beautiful corally pink shade. This is the perfect summer color. I wore this probably for a month or two straight. It was like the only lipstick in my purse. I could not get enough of it. I loved it so much. I love the consistency of this crayon. I'm not a big lip crayon fan in general, but I love the consistency of the Palladio one. I love the way it applies. It leaves a nice finish even after it fades. And then, you know, before you reapply it, it leaves like a nice little stain on your lips. And it's just such a stunning shade. I really, this is the only one I own from that line. I really need to go pick up the rest of the line because it blows me away, the formulation, the colors, the pigmentation, everything about it. This was also definitely the year of liquid lipsticks, just to pull out a few to show you guys. And I've talked about this one specifically. Oops. I've talked about this one specifically like crazy this year. Honestly, you guys have seen this in plenty of videos. It's not a new one. This is the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Vampira. And it is just the perfect vampy shade for wintertime. I am obsessed with this. You usually find this shade in my purse one day out of the week, if not more. It's like my go-to vampy shade if I don't really know what else I want to wear. I know I will look awesome in this. My only complaint is that it is definitely a high maintenance lip product. Once it fades from like the center, it's kind of a bitch to reapply. You kind of almost have to take it all off and put it all back on again because it just does not layer very well. And this is pretty true for all the Kat Von D shades, to be frankly honest in my opinion. But honestly, I make the sacrifice for this shade because it is so stunning. Another brand of liquid lipsticks I fell in love with were the ColourPop ones. These ones are in the shade Clueless and Solo. These ones I have worn a crap ton of, especially Clueless. As you can see, all of the ColourPop branding is pretty much worn off of this one. These are both beautiful dusty rose shades. This one's more of a lighter dusty rose. I'm going to show you. This one again is, this one is Clueless. So again, a dusty rose shade, but a little bit more on the pinky mauvey side or mauve side. And then this one here is called Solo. And again, I believe either one or both of these did come out in the fall collection. I'm not sure if it isn't going to be very permanent. This one's a lot more on the corally peachy pink side. What I like about ColourPop liquid lipsticks versus the Kat Von D one, those ones will fade too throughout the day. I mean, they stay a lot more put than the Kat Von D one in my opinion, but they will eventually, you know, crumble off with eating, talking, drinking, whatever. And I do notice that they tend to get all over the place, especially if you eat something greasy or, you know, are drinking something or whatnot. But I do notice that they reapply a lot easier. They don't like come off and layer off in pieces and don't like reapply well. They do reapply really nicely to the skin. And they are very long lasting. However, when they do fade, they are much easier to reapply than the Kat Von D one by a billionfold. I don't know if this one is considered a liquid lipstick, but I consider it that. This is the Too Faced Melted Longwear Lipstick. This one is in the shade Chihuahua, and this one is just honestly my favorite. I have a couple other ones. None of them do it quite like Chihuahua does for me, so that's it right there. So this one here is definitely more of a mauve brown shade. It's definitely a little bit more on the warm tone side. Some people love it, some people hate it. I am a huge fan of Chihuahua personally. I think it is an awesome lipstick. It definitely doesn't reflect the color of the tube in my opinion. This is a little bit more purpley on the tube, and I definitely think it comes off a lot more browny, a lot more warm tone than the tube leads you to believe. But it is a super pretty shade. If you guys were looking to try out the Too Faced liquid lipsticks, the Too Faced Melted liquid lipsticks, I definitely recommend the shade Chihuahua. It is incredible. And last liquid lipsticks that I was obsessed with this year were the Oprah Cosmetics ones. I have two shades here that I am absolutely in love with. Totally two different colors though, actually surprisingly. They're not the same as every other one. I have the shade here called Mocha. This one is just a great overall daytime, just awesome shade, and it kind of just goes with every single look. So there's Mocha. It does have some more warm pinky tones, but definitely is a lot more brown in tone as well. So again, it's following the kind of 90s grunge trend going on right now with liquid lips. But it is, I feel, just a lot more daytime appropriate. And like I said, I think it kind of just goes with any eye look. If you're stumped on what kind of a lipstick or a lip color to wear, Mocha kind of just works with everything. And then this shade here called Mina. This is just another beautiful vampy shade that I've been very attracted to this fall and winter time. This one is definitely very purpley. violet in shade. So there's it right there. So very similar to Vampira. I'm actually going to swatch them next to each other so you guys can see the difference. I believe Vampira is a little bit more red, whereas Mina is definitely a little bit more purple. So put these down real quick. So those are the two swatched next to each other. So Vampira is down here and Mina's right there. Very similar, but as you can tell, Mina definitely has a lot more purple, whereas Vampira definitely has a lot more red tone to it. So both of them are all overall amazing. What I like about Mina is as I drop it. What I like about Mina is I think that this formula is a little bit different than the rest of the Oprah ones. The other Oprah ones are definitely a lot more moussier and don't apply as evenly as the Mina one does. The Mina one is just a little bit more liquidy and applies just a little bit easier than the other one. So that's another reason why I appreciate that one more. But these two shades are awesome. I own way more than just these two shades. I have actually several of, not the entire line of the liquid lipsticks, but I have a vast majority of them and I absolutely love them. So if you guys are looking for really good liquid lipsticks on the market today, definitely check out the Oprah ones. And then of course, I can't finish off a lip video without talking about lip glosses. These three lip glosses especially just made my 2015. So the first one I have here is the Buxom Lip Gloss in the shade White Russian. And I've had this longer than 2015, but I really just started really getting into Buxom lip glosses this past year, and I love this shade White Russian. It is just the best overall like lip topper ever. I could put this on pretty much any single lip color, and it just kind of transforms the lip, and it's a very nice neutral. It gives you just a nice hint of gloss without being too overpowering or too over pigmented or anything like that. So this beauty here is from Pure Minerals. This is in the shade Galaxy. And again, I think I got this actually in a Jupiter Ascending Pure Minerals like collection palette thing. So I think I've had it longer than 2015. I probably got it right at the end of 2014. But I love this lip gloss. Very similar to White Russian, except for it has lots of little gold micro glitter in it, and you aren't going to be able to tell it on camera. But again, it's just like the perfect lip gloss ever. Again, it's a ride or die for me. I know if I don't know what lip gloss to add to something, I can grab this and it'll just make my lips look incredible. And then last but certainly not least, this NARS lip gloss. This is from the Christopher Kane collection, so unfortunately this has come and gone from Sephora. I don't know if you'd be able to find it on eBay or Amazon still, but this is in the shade Mesmer, and it was just the most beautiful electric pink lip gloss ever. And again, it is definitely more on the glossy side. So that's it right there. So it does leave a very nice gloss over different lip colors. I actually loved pairing it with my Palladio lip crayon. But this also can be worn by itself if you're looking just for a subtle wash of color. So look right there, it does give you enough pigmentation that it'll give you something, but it's not overpowering. It's not like a liquid lipstick like the thing I'm wearing right now. So great lip gloss. I really enjoyed this NARS lip gloss, and it really makes me curious to try other glosses from the line. I have on my list Chelsea Girls to get. Everyone raves about that one. If you guys have any other lip gloss suggestions from NARS, please let me know down in the comment section. I would love to get my hands on a lot more of these beauties. So that's it, guys. That is basically the rest of my makeup favorites for 2015. I know that this video is so long, guys, so I'm going to be trying to be really brief with my outro for this video. But again, thank you guys so much for watching today. If you guys want to see any more in-depth tutorials, reviews of any of these products, please let me know down in the comments section. Again, guys, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. I still have skincare and hair care favorites coming up, as well as just like body, bath, everything like that. I think I might combine all of that also into one video, just get it all out of the way. Again, guys, stay tuned for my new series on Tuesdays, my Try It Out Tuesdays. I do have some awesome reviews coming up and some awesome demos I wanted to share with you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Your love, your support, everything you guys leave me down in the comment section means so much, and I truly take my time responding to every single person that comments on all of my videos, guys. So thank you so much. This is going to be an awesome 2016. I cannot wait to see you guys in my next video. I will catch you then. I love you guys. Thank you so much, and bye.